Ghostbusters. What?
Hi, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm Alicia.
I'm Lewis.
We just finished watching Ghostbusters, the original one, and you know what? We got some questions.
Yeah, a few questions.
Just a few. I mean, it's a good movie. We weren't left with a lot of questions.
This is true.
So we were just talking about the most wonderful song in all of cinematic history. To be honest with you, I'd go that far. Would you go that far?
Probably go that far, yeah.
It's pretty intense.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good song. We used to sing it at the bar all the time. You remember that?
Yes.
They used to, instead of saying Ghostbusters, they would say my name.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be, who are you going to call? Alicia, obviously. It made for an interesting drinking song. We can say that. So this is the first podcast that we're going to post. We've done a couple practice runs that have been all right. So
Yeah.
we're probably going to use some of that material later on.
Later on. Be on the lookout.
Yeah, be on the lookout for that. So I guess we should probably start laying out the groundwork for this song. Listen to me. Already
right.
messing up. First mess up of the podcast goes to me.
I mean, the song was done by Ray Parker Jr. And
Yeah.
we were saying earlier, I think this is like his big hit and
I think
only
it was
hit.
the
I think
only
it was
one,
just
yeah.
like a one-hit wonder with
Yeah.
this. But once again, it's a good song,
It was
so
a good
why
song.
not? And the movie was great too, so once again, like, it stuck out there.
Yeah. If you haven't seen this movie, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
Honestly, what are you doing with your life?
You should watch it. It's a
Watch
great
it.
movie.
Sit down. Take 2 hours of your life and experience wonder.
Yeah, freaking Ghostbusters and chill. There you
Yeah,
go.
Ghostbusters and chill should totally be a thing. I'd
Yeah.
put out for that.
Yeah.
All right. So, let's talk about some characters. All right, let's do that.
All right, well, we got our main big three that start up the whole thing. You know, Ray Stans, Dr. Ray Stans, played
Don't
by
forget
Dan
the
Aykroyd.
doctors. Mm-hmm.
Dr. Peter Venkman by Bill Murray, and Dr. Egon Spengler done by Harold Ramis. Late Harold Ramis, rest in peace, sir.
Yeah,
You're a great man.
Mm-hmm.
And they starting up their business after being kicked out of university.
Sure.
And so they hire their secretary, played by Annie Potts. Her name's Janine Melnitz.
Yeah,
And
Janine's my favorite.
she's a great character.
She
I love
really
her
is.
character. But I'm just weirded out, like, in the second one, I know it's supposed to be, like, 2 years later and such, but in the second one, like, she gets, like, over-sexualized
She
real quick.
Really does. Like
'Cause
in this movie,
she
you
is,
pointed
like,
out.
She's just, like, kind of somber, just kind of just plain Jane. Like, she, like, nothing really stands out about her except her attitude.
Yeah.
Because she knows how to throw some attitude.
And them glasses. Don't forget the glasses.
And the glasses. One was 80s, so I'm freaking
Look.
thick frames were a thing.
I'm a sucker for some cute glasses.
Yeah, this is true. But like I said, in the second one, like she gets like freaking like hipster almost style kind of glasses right there. Her haircut is like that half little asymmetrical bob thing. She's wearing like freaking bright dresses. Everything's kind of just like out there, and it's just like straight up look at this.
Yeah, look at these titties.
Mm-hmm.
Oops. Oh well. Yeah, and you know, I really think that it's like supposed to play off of who she ends up with, which would be Lewis. His geekiness, his shyness. I mean, it's one of those opposites attract kind of things.
Yeah.
It seems like that's what they're trying to go for.
I guess so.
I don't really agree with it,
Yeah.
but I guess that's what they were going for.
I mean, in the first one, like she was trying to get all up on Egon, so
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, I mean, okay, so she's a really good feminist icon. You know, she's not
I'll
like...
give her that.
Sure, what she wants is to have a boyfriend or to get laid or whatever.
Yeah.
But the fact that she's going after it without any question, she doesn't want a husband. She just wants to get fucked. Like, who doesn't? And she's totally okay with that. She doesn't question it. She doesn't think beyond that. Sure, she's reading magazines all the time, but she's an intellectual. Mm. She plays racquetball. She is unafraid to be herself.
Yeah, she even says that.
All
like,
of these things are great things for a woman to be portrayed as. It's wonderful. That's great. I loved it.
It's great. Like I said, it's just weird that they just over-sexualized her in the second one. It was just...
Yeah, speaking of sexy, though, can we talk about Sigourney Weaver for a minute?
Go ahead.
Oh, my freaking God. She's a fox, dude. She's such a fox in this movie. I'd put my dick in her. I absolutely would. She's so beautiful. Even today, she's gorgeous.
Because like in Paul, when she just popped up, you're still just like, dang.
Dang, I would still put my dick in that. right, that's enough. That's enough of that. I turned around from going from this is a great feminist icon to let me sexualize people. Why not? Let's just do that.
Yeah, why not?
I'm sorry, Sigourney Weaver, if you're listening to this. You're a wonderful person.
You're a great actress, too. Yeah. But yeah, going back to the whole freaking Annie Potts, Janine, and getting with Lewis and everything. Like, did you know they actually wanted, like, John Candy to play Lewis Tully?
Yeah, that's insanity. You told me about this while we were watching this, and it blew my freaking mind.
Because Harold Ramis and Bill Murray...
Wait, who's Harold Ramis again?
Egon,
okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I always forget his name.
Yeah, they were in the movie Stripes with John Candy at the time.
Yeah, it was a great movie.
And Yvonne Reitman, he went ahead and helped direct that too. Mm-hmm. And so while freaking Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd were writing Ghostbusters, they had John Candy in mind to play Lewis Tully. But John Candy's portrayal of it was he's going to be like this freaking kind of German guy with like 2 Rottweilers and everything like that. So you think from that portrayal of how he wanted it to be to what they got with Rick Moranis, you know, that's kind of like huge difference there.
I'm trying to imagine John Candy coming out of that apartment with the workout gear and the high waters, the Adidas shoes, because it's so 80s. Talking in this horrible German accent, because I would imagine he would go over the top with it.
He probably would.
And that's just an insane image. Yeah. Like, good Lord.
Yeah, but still, he was a great comedian too. So, you know, John Candy, once again, rest in peace, man.
Great comedian. All right, so we're introduced to Sigourney Weaver. Like, let's try and be on topic. We're introduced to Sigourney Weaver because she's got like a demonic presence or demigod presence in her house,
weird entity in her apartment.
And I don't know, man. So they have these eggs that start popping on the counter.
Yes.
Which is a really cool practical effect.
Yes, and
right?
I still have no idea how the hell they did that.
And then how'd they make it start cooking on there? Yeah, it's so crazy. How did you do that? I don't even know. Like, did they build a freaking countertop over a stove, maybe?
Or like
and
a
then
griddle or something? Like...
I don't know how they made that happen. I just can't figure it out. Love practical effects.
Yeah,
both of us are
freaking amazing.
Big suckers for some practical effects.
Because they always make the movie feel
absolutely
more realistic.
Real. Yeah.
Like, you can actually be transported into a movie because of that. Because, like, you're not freaking, like, overhit with, like, these weird fucking CG. Just
Avatar! Sorry.
That kind of just pulls you out.
Speaking of Sigourney Weaver, she's in that, isn't she?
Yes,
Man.
She's in Avatar.
She's in everything that's alright. Alright. I won't go down that road. So, all right. So in the storyline of the movie,
yes,
right, she goes from being scared out of her wits to the Ghostbusters 2 days later.
Yes.
Tells them her story, and then she comes back with Peter Venkman, who's Bill Murray. Wouldn't that apartment have smelled really bad?
Yes.
Like atrocious, right?
Yeah,
like it would have been really bad.
A grocery bag full of perishable items and such on the counter.
Yeah.
Because she just straight up booked it as soon as she saw freaking, you know, that weird dog creature in there.
I would have too, to be honest with you.
Yeah, to say its own fucking name and shit. Like, just Zool. Like, what the fuck was this?
Yeah, we found that out towards the end of the movie. And it's like, wait a minute. So you're just sitting in there, just chilling.
Just chilling out in someone's fridge and just pop up and say my own name.
How did she even understand what it was saying?
Yeah, like...
Because I couldn't.
It was
they
more like a giant,
tell me what it was.
Yeah, it was like more of a giant roar, just.
Yeah, okay, I'm sure I heard Zool in there.
Yeah, it's like, and it had like that weird light bulb in its mouth and everything to make that light, but still.
I mean, practical effects.
It was a good practical effect.
It's great. So, so then from there, because they don't have any leads, the movie progresses, right? Yes. And they're suddenly inundated with all of these calls about ghosts all over the New York area, right? And then we're introduced to Winston, which we'll get to in a second. But my main question right now, they just proved, right, that ghosts are a thing. At the beginning of the movie.
Beginning of the movie in the library.
They prove it for the first time.
Yes.
And it's a huge deal to them because they've never seen one before. They've never been able to prove it, right?
Right.
And then a couple weeks later, suddenly there's ghosts all over Manhattan.
They're just popping up out of the woodwork and such. I
mean, I can kind of see Dickless's point in this, you know? Dickless is Walter Peck, I think is his name.
Yeah.
Later on in the movie, the EPA dude, the redheaded guy, who's the actor?
William Atherton.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have no idea on actors' names. So, I don't know. I don't understand how there's so many ghosts all over the place.
it doesn't really feel like it's fully explained.
It really doesn't.
I mean, even near the end when they're just talking about how the building and everything is just pulling in all this freaking psychic energy, whatever the fuck,
spiritual disturbances. I think is what he says.
Spiritual disturbance energy and all that, just culminating there. It's still not explained why.
No. Like, what was the tipping point? Mm-hmm. Was it just that they caught Slimer? Like, what was the point, right?
Yeah, like, it's like one ghost got caught, Slimer being the first one, pretty much, because that's when they actually had all the equipment and everything. And then from there, it's just like, how dare you catch this ghost? Everywhere goes!
Yeah. And I mean, maybe that's just us, like, assuming that the storyline is going to revolve around the main characters, because that's what we're always fed from Hollywood. Yeah. And maybe that's just an us problem, that we're seeing it as a plot hole when actually they mean for it to be like outside of the universe of the story. Mm-hmm. Something happened. Yeah. Cool. I'm fine with that. But we could have had a little, just a little side thing. Hey, here's what's going on with the spiritual side of this. And I'd be fine with it. I wouldn't have this question anymore. It would have taken like 15 seconds.
Something like that.
We don't really need a whole bunch to it.
Yeah. Just something to explain why this is happening. Why is there this tipping point now?
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, let's go back to Winston.
So yeah, they're super busy and everything, and then they call they don't really call it. It was like Winston said more just Ernie Hudson. He comes in just looking for jobs. You see him with classifieds in his hand and shit. He looks up at the building and is just like, all right, go ahead and apply. Yeah. So he comes in and applies and everything, and Janine's reading off the whole list of things. Do you believe in this, like everything, like.
Oh my God, her delivery of those lines is great. She just
straight flat monotone. Do you believe in ESP?
She should have been Jubilee. That's who should have been Jubilee in the 80s, right there.
And then just straight up, he's like, look, if there's a steady paycheck in it, I'll believe anything you say. Freaking Venkman and Ray show back up from, whatever mission they just finished, because they got like 2 traps full and everything. And she's just like, hey, this is Winston. He's the one that applied for a job. Great, you're hired. Here, take this. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Like, there's nothing else to it.
Which is actually really great, because he's the only black guy.
Yeah, he's the only black guy on the team.
Nobody says shit.
Nobody gives a damn about it.
Loved it. If we could get back to that point in the way that Hollywood portrays things, I would be so happy. Lewis, you can't even imagine how happy I would be.
I know.
I don't need... we were talking about this when we were talking about The Dark Tower, right? There's a movie coming out with Idris Elba as the lead role for a character who is questionably white, right? In the books that this whole thing is based off of.
Which will be another episode.
We'll get into that. Don't worry about that. But I was telling you that I don't need a black gunslinger. I just need a gunslinger.
Yes.
I don't need the...
We don't need the race involved in there. That doesn't have to be a factor. It's
not a factor at all. I don't care what color his skin is. And it's the same with Winston in this freaking movie. Yeah, he's not a black gunslinger. Listen to me. Yeah. He's not a black Ghostbuster. He's just a Ghostbuster. It's great. It makes me so happy on the inside.
And that's it. He just joins in the guys and just like, all right, let's do this. Like, I'm ready to get paid. Let's go ahead and do some work and everything. And then he starts, leaning onto it. And when they finish catching, I don't even know how many freaking ghosts, because it doesn't really get into it.
It's after the Peck thing.
Yeah, it's after a while. Freaking EPA comes in and wants to go ahead and start some stuff. Fucking Walter Peck. And then they come back again to go ahead and, shut the system down because his reasons.
We'll get into that in a minute.
They get arrested, and then they go to see the mayor after freaking Carl Winslow pops up and is just like, hey, remember me from Die Hard? I was friends with John McClane. How's it going?
This movie is incidentally set immediately after the John McClane story with Carl Winslow.
I swear it is.
It's gotta be.
And then, I'm surprised they didn't add that kind of stuff to his character when they made Family Matters. But, that's a whole nother thing.
That's a whole nother thing.
They go into the mayor's office, and the mayor's just like, why do I want to believe y'all? And he's like, look, I've only been here for a few weeks, but I can tell you right now, I have seen shit that'll make you turn white. And there's this weird like pan to a couple of people that are in the mayor's office, like one of his
couple of old white guys. Doesn't matter who they are.
There's a couple of white guys. There's like one of the head of the police, and like just another
fire department, I think.
Yeah, like some guy, and they kind of look at each other, just like, did he just fucking say this?
Yeah, and
It's a weird glance.
I never thought that there was anything to that. I really thought that they were just like, this is like he took it too far, or like I couldn't figure out why they put that scene in there because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to go and pull away from that to two just random people and then cut back to the whole speech. It's just like,
and me in my perfect white innocence never thought that maybe it had to do with the fact that he used the word white in a sentence. Oh my God, this was insane. I never thought of that. And Lewis pointed it out right before we started recording, and my mind is still blown from this. Yeah. Never thought of it.
Because it's like a quick kind of cutaway thing. Like, it's made that fast. Like, you don't really think about it.
Yeah. And I think that's the only time when race comes anywhere near the story.
That's the only time.
I'm okay with
in
just
both
the once.
Movies.
I would really rather it never have happened. But that's me being idealistic.
But that was just like, just a quick thing. And, it was special. It was kind of funny. Just because of that. They were just like, did he just fucking say this?
Yeah, did he really?
And then we cut back to them, and it's just like, not miss a beat. Let's continue on with this. And they'll tell the mayor what's going down.
Oh my God. And I need to watch it again because I'm so flabbergasted that I never thought of that. And I'm the type of person, when I saw Dumbo for the first time, when I was like 8, that song with the blackbirds that are singing about, it's like, they're obviously racial stereotypes, right? Well, I was so upset at 8 years old, knowing that there was something so wrong about that I refused to watch Dumbo until I was an adult. Like, I hated that movie with a passion because of that particular scene. Because I really hate that. I hate that about our society. We're not going to go into this because I'm going to get super political about it.
Yeah.
But it's always been something that I've thought of. So for me to love this movie for as long as I have and never have noticed that is kind of brilliant in the same way that it's kind of sad.
Yeah. Because like I said, it's written in there and made to be just that quick kind of throwaway where you don't even think about it.
Yeah, I don't.
Because they cut over to them. They look at each other, then you cut back, and it's just like, not miss a beat, just keep rolling with it.
I would love to talk to the director now, just to find out the answer to the question. Like, did you do that on purpose? Like, did you do it for that reason, or was it to, like, do what I was thinking, that it was just like, oh man, he went a little bit too far, or something like that? I don't know. I really don't know, because you could take it either way.
Yeah.
It's insanity. All right, let's go back to Dickless.
And freaking William Atherton, fucking Walter Peck Dickless guy. Like, he comes in, he's trying to be all freaking slick and everything, just like,
he's so good in that role,
I'm part of the EPA, and what do you do here?
God, he's so good in that role.
I'm super creepy.
So how is it that he is more creepy when he's smiling? How is that possible?
And what is the magic word?
He legitimately looked like
Mr. Venkman.
He legitimately looked like he wanted to kill a puppy right then.
He did.
Okay.
Please, may I see it?
May I see it?
Like, he gets weird. Like super weird and creepy and like trying to be overly nice about it at the beginning, and then he's just like, "Look, dude, no, like you come back with a court order and everything, and then I'll go ahead and then at that moment he's just straight up flips the dick switch.
Yeah, he really does.
He just comes back and starts threatening like everybody. He's like, "No, you freaking stop me because I have this court order that I just got outside, and I am fucking balls to the wall angry right now."
Balls to the wall angry? Huh? Is that a level? And I didn't know it?
I guess it could be like, all right, freaking. It is now. All right, it is now because that's just what rolled out. Because like he just came in just threatening for nothing,
guns blazing over nothing. There really wasn't a reason for him to do that. He had no reason
for it.
I mean, I get it. They're trying to portray, like, the bureaucracy kind of thing.
Yeah,
and all that,
like,
but
most bureaucrats, they got, like, their freaking giant things of red tape, and they want to be in control of it because they're a government agency, But still, he just came in for no reason, just threatening up. And then weird. He freaking got them to pull the switch and fucking shut down the grid. Yeah. Building explodes, and what does he do? It's their fault.
It's their fault immediately. It's their fault. I didn't do anything.
I didn't do a damn thing. This court order that I have right here that says for me to go ahead and shut their shit down. No, I didn't do it. That was them. They did this whole thing.
It's because bureaucracy wins out over science. I think if that's what they're trying to say, right? And I get it. I get it.
But still, it's just like, come on.
Yeah.
Like that went way too much right there.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
So there's a bunch of ghosts that are released.
Everybody's back out there. Slimer comes back out again.
And then somehow it winds up that Zuul is going to be released because suddenly Sigourney Weaver and Lewis, whatever that guy's name is.
Rick Moranis.
I can't believe I just forgot his name.
Louis Tully.
Look, Rick Moranis is a great actor.
He is
and
a
I
great
feel
actor.
Terrible for forgetting his name right now because he's a wonderful human being.
Yes.
We can leave the actor behind. He's a wonderful human being. If you don't know, Rick Moranis stopped acting so that he could take care of his children. After his wife died. So wonderful human being, wonderful, and I think he's just now starting to come back into acting again. Isn't he?
I think so. I think he's like slowly coming back in.
Yeah. Okay, so back to the story. Rick Moranis, great person.
Yes.
Rick, if you're listening, please come on our show.
Come
talk to us. We want to talk to you. We want to talk to you about Little Shop of Horrors because that is collectively our favorite movie. I think. Anyway, we'll stop our fangirling for a second. All right.
We'll save that for another time, too.
Yeah. So you had something to talk about Lewis. What was it?
Yeah, like him being the keymaster, like for Zuul was, the gatekeeper, whatever, that appeared in freaking Dana's apartment and everything, went after Sigourney Weaver. Like, that's, cut and dry right there. The keymaster, Vince, kind of pops into Lewis's apartment, busts out the closet. Lewis straight bolts in the middle of his party and like leaves all his guests there. Why does it chase after him?
Why does it go after him specifically? That's a really good question.
Why? What was the point of that? Like, there was other people right there. It could have easily just taken over.
Yeah.
Like, if that's all it was to do was just possess someone and then help bring the coming of Gozer, there was plenty of candidates right there because there was guys just laying around the freaking apartment, just hiding horribly behind couches and behind a chair, and one person had like the freaking little end table and such against his face, and you could see him just like, there was easy prey right there.
Yeah.
Why go after Lewis?
Yeah, a predator wouldn't have hunted somebody that was running. They would have hunted somebody that's right there.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't get that. I really don't. Like, why does it do that? And then, like I said, for Zuul, like, why does it specifically go for Dana?
Yeah. Is it? I mean, maybe for Dana, it might have been just because she was the only one there, because it's her apartment, right?
Yeah.
But questionable. Why did it go for her apartment?
Yeah, why her apartment specifically?
I don't have an idea.
There was plenty of apartments. There's other people to live.
Yeah, lots of other people. Nobody as sexy as Sigourney Weaver.
No, true. Not even that crazy blonde chick that was in freaking Lewis's party.
What was up with her boobs when she was dancing? Did you see them bouncing all over the damn place? They were bouncing more than her hair was. It was insanity. And the only reason why I noticed is because the only reason why I noticed is because her boobs are at the same level as Rick Moranis' head.
Yes,
like
she's just
and she's bouncing right in front of him. So you're watching Rick Moranis because he's got this weird look on his face, and like so your eye is immediately drawn to these pink boobs that are just bouncing all over the place.
She's dancing one way, and he's like trying to figure it out.
Bad. She's dancing so badly.
Once again, 80s dancing. He's like trying to like copy it and everything. He's doing it kind of awkwardly, so he's like missing and stuff. It's like, whatever.
Yeah. So, back to Zuul.
Zuul freaking takes over Dana and everything, and then Venkman shows up after Vince busts out and runs after Lewis across the freaking.
Very publicly possesses him.
Yeah, for whatever reason.
Reasons.
Yeah, Venkman shows up and is still just like, whatever, freaking knock on date, I have a date with Dana. Opens the door and then freaking sees like she's not really herself, but he still finds his way in and everything. And then you get this weird vibe going on of like what happens. And I'm just wondering two things. One, did he sleep with her while she was possessed?
Here's a really good question. All right, we leave the scene. at him underneath her, saying, "Please come down."
Yeah.
In a soft, really nice, pleasant kind of voice.
And then transition off
and then a different scene.
To Lewis freaking being over there in Ghostbusters headquarters, and they come back.
I'm so
Venkman's
confused.
on the phone.
So confused.
There's it does a weird pan past her, past clothes and everything strewn about, and the room's weird kind of a mess thing, and then he's on the phone. He's down to his undershirt and vest, whatever.
Was he really?
Or
I didn't notice.
whatever shirt.
I know he had taken off his jacket.
Yeah, he took off his jacket, but he's still wearing his other clothes, freaking jeans and everything like that. And he's saying that he had to pump Dana with 300 cc's of a sedative.
Where did he get that sedative?
Did he have that on him?
Did he have it with him?
What the hell?
What did he have that for? All right? I mean, I know he's a psychiatrist or whatever. What did he have that sedative
exactly.
for? I cannot think of a single reason for wanting to have one of those. And especially that amount.
Yeah.
Why did he have that?
Why did he have that on him?
I'm so confused.
I don't think she had that kind of sedative in her apartment.
Look, watch that scene where they're in the jail again.
Mm-hmm.
There's a point where somebody says, hey, Venkman, your girlfriend, right? And he makes this face she's not my girlfriend. He is so weird about it.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he that weird?
What is he guilty about?
Or was it he was acting like a little kid? It's one or the other, right? Super false dichotomy. You're welcome. Was he guilty? Because I read it as guilty, but I mean, I'm kind of biased here. I really think he did.
Yeah.
While she was possessed. I don't think that he sedated her and then fucked her. I think while she was possessed, he had sex with her.
And then sedated it afterwards. Which
really says, I don't think he's a total dickhead. I just think he's half of a dickhead. He's just a circumcised dickhead. It's fine.
To get into the second movie and everything like that, you don't want them doing that because they would be exposing themselves. Just restraints that I got from her, and you don't want us exposing ourselves.
Oh my god. He's so guilty right now.
Yeah,
he's so guilty.
There was just something about that. And freaking, you get Dana and Lewis, possessed and everything, Gatemaster, Keymaster and everything, or Gatekeeper, Keymaster, and then they freaking meet together. They head up the hidden stairway to the rooftop and everything to help bring the coming of Gozer. But why did they have to have sex to bring Gozer?
That's a really good question.
Because when it pans back to them, you see her getting up and she's kind of disheveled. You see him getting up with a smile on his face. His pants are you can see they're not really buttoned and held together.
They're not done
his
right.
His shirt's kind of just messed up. He's just
yeah. Yeah, I just lost my virginity. That's what that face said. I know. I've seen it.
Why?
I haven't seen it. I've never seen a man after he lost his virginity.
But seriously, it's just why do they have to have sex to bring Gozer?
Why?
And
why is that a
if
thing?
they're freaking supernatural dogs and everything, did they do a doggy style? What's going on here? It's just it's not a full question I need to answer. It's just it kind of just bothers me.
It seems like it would probably be that way. That's the only way they know how to have sex.
I guess. And then when they get there to the Ghostbusters finally, convince the mayor, hey, let us do this thing. Fucking Dickless over here is fucking just an idiot now. And mayor's just throw him out of here. Okay, what do you need? Yeah. And they get to the building to go ahead and fag Gozer. Why do they climb the stairs?
There's an elevator. We know because when Dana got there, she was riding the elevator. She was coming off of the elevator the first time that we see her.
Mm-hmm.
So there's an elevator.
There's an elevator system there.
The power's still on.
Yeah. The hall lights and everything were still on, all that stuff. When they got there, they climbed 22 flights.
Yeah, why did we have to make that joke of oh my god, it's so bad to climb 22 flights of stairs? We get it.
Yeah.
It sucks. Yeah.
Especially with that kind of equipment they have on their backs.
That sucks. Yeah. Okay, that's not really a joke. That's really just pointing out the way the world is.
Yeah, it's kind of weird of a thing. I
don't know, man. Okay, so then they get upstairs, right? And they're there just in time, as you mentioned, just in time to see Gozer coming into existence or opening the doorway or whatever.
Yeah, and Lewis and Dana being turned back into the freaking dogs and all that.
Yeah, honestly, all right. Hear me out here for a second. What the fuck was Gozer's plan?
I don't know.
I mean, she's just... Well, I can't really say she. I'll leave she because she's in female form.
Yeah.
We'll just... I don't want to offend anybody, but it's in female form, so I'm going to say she.
Mm-hmm.
She's just chilling with her dogs, man. She's just petting her dogs.
She just comes down, starts petting dogs and everything. What's up?
There's just an overabundance of dry ice around her. She's just got this weird outfit on and way too much contouring. Way too much contouring.
But them heels.
Though. And she's just chilling. She's not doing anything. I don't know why. When she sees these humans come up, she waits until she is addressed, and then she goes on the defensive. At no point does she seem like a conqueror. I mean, I'm not on her side or anything, but I'm just pointing this out. It's a little bit weird.
It's like, why would they have this thing?
Yeah, I could understand if, like, she was standing there and she was like, good job, dogs. Okay, let's start taking over this world and, like, changing the weather or something, you know, throwing out her lightning bolts. Cool, I understand it. Now she's a bad guy, obviously. But when we're presented with her, I feel like we're Mario coming up on a freshly hatched piranha plant, you know? I don't understand it. I don't know why we're trying to kill her. Yeah, I feel like maybe they might not have understood the situation, and then they just reacted to what she was reacting to, which was an aggressive front. Why did we need to attack her? I don't understand it.
I mean, it did set up good freaking comedic timings and such.
That's true.
Just, you know, all right, we need someone to talk to her. Go get her, Ray.
Yeah. I mean, that was cute. I love Dan Aykroyd. He's so funny. Well, back then. Now he's kind of unusual.
He still has a few funny moments.
He's a little unusual. Well, whatever. So anyway, speaking of Dan Aykroyd, he's the one who comes up with the idea of the Stay-Puft Marshmallow Man.
Yeah.
Right? Which is great. It's a really funny scene. It's very memorable.
Yeah, you get this weird, cute, you know, cuddly kind of character to come up
with angry eyes
and destroy. Well, not at the beginning.
Well, he had angry eyes.
He did have angry eyes, but like he started out just like,
he looked like a fucking Teletubby and shit.
I'm smashing cars, yay! And then all of a sudden they shoot him once. How dare you?
And then angry eyes, and the angry eyes is what I remember best. I don't remember the happy face. I just remember the angry eyes.
I mean, you see the happy face between buildings, just.
Oh, now I kind of remember it. Yeah. So they fire on him, right? And he lights on fire. I have a big problem with this, Lewis.
Yeah?
I can take the ghosts, all right? I can understand that. I can take the sliming thing, that whole ectoplasmic residue that's left after them. Sure, I can take that. I can take the psychic energy feeding into the building that's built by an architect from 60 years ago.
Who's a complete madman.
Who's a madman who built this Gozer with the intention of bringing about his god. Sure, I can take all of that. But, Lewis, I have a problem.
What's up?
The Stay-Puft Marshmallow Man lights on fire, and he doesn't grow.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. He does not expand with the heat.
I have such a problem with it. It bugs me so much.
He stays the same size.
I don't understand it, dude. I've had several s'mores in my life, all right? I have seen many marshmallows on fire. They grow.
Yeah, they freaking expand.
They don't just melt and turn into shaving cream.
No.
They expand. Why didn't he grow?
I don't know.
Why didn't his belly start growing outward? I would have loved to have seen that.
Like something, just like him getting like a little misshapen or something
taller,
because of it.
Or anything.
Anything.
But nothing. No. And that's the problem I have with this movie. Stay-Puft Marshmallow Man didn't follow the laws of physics. All right.
He didn't follow marshmallow code.
I can understand the ghosts, though, but not the Marshmallow Man. That's my problem with this movie. That, and I have a really big question that we're left with at the end of this movie. It's a really big question, and I know that because I wrote it really big when we were talking about this. What happened to the rest of those ghosts? Okay, so when Dickless turned off the thing, right, there's all those ghosts that they had captured. What happened to all those ghosts?
Yeah, like, where'd the hell they go? They just dissipate? No, they didn't dissipate, because at the end of the movie, when they're celebrating everything, they beat Gozer, freaking Slimer flies at the screen, and then it fucking goes to credits. If he's there, where the hell are the rest of the ghosts?
Do we have, like, zombie freaking taxi drivers running around?
Yeah,
is that
like,
what we're led to believe? Just for the rest of existence?
Slimer still shows up in the second one,
and he's
there throughout the whole movie. Like, where did they all go?
I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Is that just how they continue their job? Because really, then that would mean that when they get sued, they'd be able to pay off their bankruptcy. Because they'd have so many jobs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the next movie is what I mean.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah, because at the beginning of the next movie, they're like broke. Freaking Ray and Winston are going to freaking birthday parties and everything to go ahead and make money. I'm like,
I don't get it.
They get sued by the city.
Yeah.
For, the damages that happened because the city didn't want to pay them for doing the job that they asked them to do.
That they got hired for, sure. I don't understand it either.
Like, it's weird. It's really weird.
So, I don't know this.
I don't know.
How'd you feel at the end of the movie?
I mean, I still love the movie. The movie's great. Like, it's still, like, those were those few questions. It's just like, what the hell? Like, they didn't just... They didn't come full circle.
Right. And I mean, that's being spoiled as movie watchers. We want it wrapped up in a nice, tidy bow.
Yeah, that's true.
But that ghost question, my big question here at the end.
Yeah, I think that's the main question there. Is it's like, what the hell happened to him? Because
I kind of want a Ghostbusters 1.5. I really wish that
like
this new movie...
something in between.
Really wish that this new movie that's coming up was like a 1.5. Like, immediately after this movie, these girls start up and then do all the rest of the stuff. I would be fine with that. Instead, we get this bullshit. This
BS freaking, let's rehash the same beats that we made in these first two movies.
Yeah.
And we're just going to make it a huge new thing because, oh my God, it's an all-women freaking cast team.
That's not feminism.
And...
That's not feminism.
The secretary that was a woman is now a man in this one. So
it's not.
Yeah.
That's not feminism. All right. Look, I'm a very loud and very proud feminist. Okay. I don't really think that this is feminism at all. You can't just say, now we have an all-female cast and that's feminism, because that's really what they're going for.
That's exactly what they're going for.
That's not feminism.
Like that's
replacing the roles that men have done before.
Yeah.
That's not making something new. That's replacing.
This is like
that's freaking the women taking over the manufacturing jobs during World War II. Yeah. That's not feminism. That's a necessity. It had been 2 men and 2 women. None of them slept together or liked each other sexually in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
That's feminism.
There we go.
That's equality.
They're all doing their same job, and nobody's like the love interest. Nobody's freaking waiting for someone to help them out with whatever thing. Like they're all capable of doing their
job and are paid equally for it and are expected to do the same job with no, repercussions for not being able to do certain parts of it.
Yeah.
That's feminism.
There we
that
go.
Imaginary world that'll never fucking happen because the world is stupid. That's feminism. Okay? This movie that we're given is a bullshit fan fiction writer coming in and saying, we'll just gender swap everybody and it'll be great, right? Look, I love fan fiction. Don't get me wrong. I'm not making fun of fan fiction. What I'm saying is it's somebody who's not a very experienced writer, who's learning how to write, and has been given a huge movie and shouldn't have been.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
That's really what it feels like. I'm going to make this huge statement and it's going to mean something, except for it doesn't mean shit because I'm going to sit here and make fun of black people and women and fuck everybody over.
Because it's black woman stereotype, main character, Leslie Jones.
If a movie from the 80s has a better representation of both a black person and a woman than a movie in 2016, there's something wrong with this world.
Yeah.
Let's just say it. Let's just call a fucking spade a spade.
Yeah, this is some bullshit. Because they took the character that was greatly portrayed by Ernie Hudson as Winston Zeddemore as just the everyday person coming in and being on par with these 3 freaking multi-doctorate freaking professors.
Which was great.
And just being able to understand what the hell they were talking about and help translate it to the mayor and shit in fucking layman's term.
To the audience.
Or to the audience too,
what his role is.
In layman's term. And then they got freaking Leslie Jones coming in as freaking subway worker, and she just becomes freaking stereotype black woman, slapping the shit out of one of her freaking coworkers, whatever, saying the power of Patty compels you.
It's a joke.
Because she's fucking possessed by whatever bullshit entity they had.
It's a joke and it's not a funny joke.
It's not.
It's a sad joke.
It's fucking... It is like reaching and fucking dragging for those, give me laughs, I need them. Yeah. Like, let's pull this bullshit freaking joke in here just to go ahead and get those cheap laughs.
Yeah. And the only way that I can make you laugh is by being a freaking racial stereotype. By being Aunt Jemima. That's the only way that I can live my life. We're just going back to the 40s to get laughs.
Yeah, we're having freaking a woman portray freaking Tyler Perry as Medea.
That's really what it is.
That's what we're going into.
That's absolutely correct, yeah.
Like that kind of stupid ass stereotype. Like Tyler Perry, he is a pretty good writer. The man knows how to write freaking screenplays and everything like that. So he can do stuff. You know, he can act. He's done all his plays and everything before they became movies. But that freaking character stereotype is just, it's stupid. That we need to move past that. We should have been way past something like that. Yeah. Freaking in the 90s, we should have been past something like that. But no.
No, we're going backwards.
We're going fucking backwards now.
I don't understand
and it's ridiculous.
I don't understand it.
So.
I wish that I did.
I
don't understand it.
I don't like this movie. I'm sorry. Just because of that. I haven't seen it. I don't plan to see it. The trailer just keeps showing the same beats as these first two movies that were successful, that did shit right. Like, don't freaking rehash it. Leave it alone. Or if you're going to try and go ahead and do something new about it, do something fucking new and original. Don't fucking pull this shit.
You know what something new and original would be? Back to my original point. Like a multi-gender...
Yeah, a
4-person cast who don't sleep with each other. That's something new and original that's never been done in Hollywood before. Somebody do that. Somebody tell me a movie where that actually happens, because I would love to watch that. I hate every movie that I see that ends up being a romance when I went in there to see a fucking action movie.
Yeah.
Why does Megan Fox get with stupid Shia LaBeouf? Why does that happen? Because they were through a really long period of adrenaline and so therefore fucked each other at the end.
Yeah.
That's not a romance.
That's not a romance.
That's a really sad excuse for a romance, because you have to feed into these women who, well, your perception of women who insist on having a romance in every second of their life.
Yeah. Thanks,
It's not. That's not how the real world works.
That is not.
I work with a lot of men. I don't care about any of them in a sexual way. I care about them as people because they are people. And they care about me in the same way. I'm not a sexual object to them because I make sure to make that clear. I'm not sex for you. It's not happening. There's no possible... I'm fully content with this brown, beautiful man that I have in my life. I don't need anybody else. It's just that simple. I don't understand. I don't understand why Hollywood can't portray that version of reality. It happens. It happens all the time.
It does. But for freaking movies, that is like not a thing that happens.
I'm really sorry. I just went off on a tangent.
It's whatever. Like, it's gonna happen because everybody's in an uproar about this thing.
I know.
Just like, once again, this is just something that really doesn't need to happen.
So let's break off of this before we start getting ourselves, crying in our cups and shit. So we started watching Ghostbusters today because we saw a report that, the new Ghostbusters trailer has a like to dislike ratio on YouTube, which is now officially the worst in YouTube history for a movie trailer.
Yep.
It's terrible. Everybody hates it.
Everybody hates it because of that. Like, it's just it's pulling those same old beats.
Yeah.
It's not doing anything original to it
and
whatsoever.
The really sad part about it is that people are going to say after it comes out, well, it's because it was women as the cast.
Yeah, like that's what they're going to go to.
And they don't understand.
It was an all-female cast, so that's exactly why it bombed. No, that's not why it bombed. It bombed because you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything new to it.
Like, the only things that you did new to it are take away the things that it did right.
Yeah.
And then completely reverse them.
And then just added freaking more CG to it.
Yeah.
Like...
You can't see, but I'm rolling my eyes on my freaking skull just at the thought of this.
Yeah, just...
Whatever, we're turning into a couple of negative Nancy's about this. Let's just change the topic.
Yeah. Alright, so we'll go ahead and step away from this because everybody knows the stance on this movie.
Okay, but let's end it on a happy note, alright?
Happy notes.
Winston! Oh my god, that scene in Ghostbusters 2 where they're in the freaking tracks and stuff and the Winston
just hearing
thing. Oh my god.
Echoes and everything.
Every time I see that, I just die. It is so funny. It is so funny. It's probably my favorite part of that movie. Hey, so what was your favorite line from this movie?
There's a few of them that had. Well, I think one of my best ones was just when freaking Egon's telling about like how much, how many ghosts and everything that they've been catching. Yeah. It's like, let's say this Twinkie is like the size of the energy that we've caught. Mm-hmm. This Twinkie should be about 65 feet long and weigh like 300,000 pounds, some shit like that.
Whatever the number is, yeah.
That's a big Twinkie. Just Winston. That's a big Twinkie.
That's a big Twinkie.
Cut off to the next scene.
My favorite line is also from Winston, as it happens. I feel like this is a running theme between the two of us. That part when they're at in front of Gozer, and she goes, are you a god? And he goes, no.
Yeah,
and
Ray
she hits him.
No.
Yeah, Ray says no, and she hits him with the lightning bolts, and they all almost fall off the building. Winston's right there just above Ray, and he goes, Ray, whenever someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes. It's so great. His delivery is just perfect. Mm-hmm. He's just the perfect amount of exasperated and terrified.
Yeah,
it's so great.
Oh my fucking god, dude. Like, what are you doing?
It's so great.
I think the other one would just have to be when they're freaking talking to the mayor, too, and then they're talking about Walter Peck, and Ray's just like everything would have been fine with our containment if fucking Dickless over here hadn't shut it down.
That's a really good line. That's why we kept calling him Dickless throughout this whole thing, by the way, is that line.
And then, he explains himself, and the mayor just looks at him and was like, is this true? And then freaking Venkman, yeah, it's true. This man has no dick.
That dry delivery. That line was so dry. Thunderstorms could have come off of it. Oh, that's way too advanced of a joke. Never mind.
And freaking Atherton gets all pissed and comes after him. It's just like, look, that's just what I heard.
It's just what I heard. It's just the best. It's just the best. All right. So next week,
we are talking about Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I've got some questions about that.
Yeah, I got all of them.
Which one was the one with that short fat guy with the glasses? He turned into a computer. Was it that one?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, spoilers. Sorry. Yeah. Guess I shouldn't have said that. If you hadn't seen that movie, and honestly, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah, why haven't you seen it?
I don't understand how people can go this long without seeing a movie.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It's a good movie, but I've got some questions.
Yeah, we've got some questions going on. Yeah. So hopefully we'll be able to answer all those questions.
It's going to be on our watch list. Hopefully it's going to be on your watch list.
It should be on your watch list. If it's not on your watch list, then you need to do something about that.
So that you get a refresher on what the movie's about and all that junk. Because we're going to be talking about it in detail. So when we see you next week, we'll be talking about the Winter Soldier. Hey guys, you know what we have? We have questions, yeah, but did you know that we have socials, too? Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Google+, whatever you want, at Questions We Have. Yes, that is backwards. It was already taken, so just deal with it. What's that, eager listeners? You also have disposable income you'd like to share? Guess what? We'll gladly take that off your hands with our Patreon at We Have Questions. Suggestions can be emailed directly to us at questionswehave@gmail.com. Your questions might be featured on the next episode. Hit us up wherever is appropriate.